Welcome back. Let's pull a blade through on this Continental and see if we can't get ourselves to Sheridan. Well, if you remember from episode 1, we'd gotten ourselves down to Deer Lodge. We grabbed some gas, and now it was going to continue to race the sun eastward, hopefully making it all the way to Sheridan, but if necessary, maybe having to stop a little bit short up by Billings. Since then, we've had knee surgery too, so my voice isn't quite back to normal. It doesn't matter whether in a big airplane or a little one. I just love flying through the central Rocky Mountains of Montana. From the big mountains, rivers, valleys, and big skies in all quadrants. It's just nothing better than it. It's a great 4 seasons trip too. If it's not part of your next flying adventure plans, it needs to be. Sliding south of a large copper open pit mine in Butte, Montana. High over the airport, we're going to hug those northeast ridges on the way further out to the east, trying to get to Livingston. It doesn't matter that it's only 17 degrees out. We have sun shining off the rocks below me. That means I should be able to find some free lift there because those rocks are absorbing some heat and putting it back up. Remember, it's only a cup. I'll take all the free lift I can get. Even though I was only a couple hundred feet above those rocks, when you look out to the right, you'll notice the freeways right below me and the valley meadows. I've gone over this beautiful private strip several times. It's probably 2 miles long, probably housing a King Air C-90 or something. Today I wanted to use it as an exercise to try to judge the snow depth. On final into big timber for my fuel. They have a grass runway, it's covered in snow. I flew real low and slowed down. I couldn't verify exactly how deep it was, so I played it safe with the customer's airplane, sidestepped to the left, put it on the pavement, and pulled on in. But that's when the real story began. I do use a variety of online sources to find good fuel stops. And I don't know if I overmissed it, if they were just older, but this one showed it had fuel. I didn't notice it didn't have 24-hour fuel, which usually means a card lock. Bottom line is we show up here to an FBO that there's nobody there at.
Howdy, is there a self-serve or is it all from the truck?
All through the truck.
You're able to go?
What's that?
You're good.
I'm not the owner of the FBO. I don't know where Justin is.
Oh, fuck. All right, I'll go to Laurel. Thanks.
Yeah. You need some fuel?
Well, I don't have time to wait for him, though. Unless you think he's on the property.
I appreciated the guy's hospitality and his willingness to give me 5 gallons, but I needed 20, and you could see the shadows were getting long. Didn't have time to wait to be handing fuel over the wing jugs. Well, here I am taxing in at Laurel, Montana.
All right, well, it is Saturday night. The sun has obviously set. We are not in Sheridan, Wyoming. We are in Laurel, Montana. 23145 is tucked in, and she's made a new friend. This is Robert. He's got that Stinson, just brought it out of the Portland area. He's a Southwest airline guy, taking it home for himself down by Fort Myers, Florida. His landing here is his 3rd landing by himself in the airplane. I know how that feels. Ferrying my airplane home. He's over there trying to figure out all the tie downs, and this Florida boy thinks it's quite cold. So luckily we're gonna share the courtesy car tonight. I'll take him to a place with some good dinner and a beer, and we'll finish the last 120 miles tomorrow, but we are running out of light. And while the airplane has strobes, it has no attitude references. And I've flown this route from Billings to Sheridan at night 2 weeks ago on the 180. It is dark. It is a dark hole. There's some clouds out to the west. There was no guarantee of having a good horizon or being legal or being safe. So it's a real easy decision. We'll leave her here in the Laurel. Tomorrow will be an easy day. Fly her down and then come back up to Billings to airline out. We had a good day. Really not too terribly cold. Wasn't warm by any chance, but it wasn't miserable cold. I still had lots more clothes I could have put on if I needed to, so that tells you it wasn't bad. So we'll see everybody a little bit later. Well, after a chilly day, it was nice to walk into this nice FBO office, which they keep unlocked. Information is all up there, including the keys to the courtesy car, which is out running, getting warmed up, Wi-Fi, good cheap fuel, and hot coffee. Oh yeah, my 2nd cup. Feels good. The couch is really good too. If I had to spend the night here, it would not have been a bad deal.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is day 2 on the way to Sheridan, and look at this day. This is why they call it Big Sky Country. This is beautiful. It's sunny, 16 degrees. Here's the 2 girls. That's where they spent the night. Obviously, we got a little bit of frost to deal with today, but I suspect when I walk around to the back, I think I'm gonna find it's already starting to melt in the sun. We got a little fluid to help with it. Got some towels, and I think it's gonna clean up pretty nice. We're gonna get Rob's airplane out of here. This Florida boy from Naples is definitely going, this is not what I'm used to, but we'll get him going. So it's gonna be a great day. Hopefully we'll have everything cleaned up, ready to go in about an hour. We'll talk to you then.
I like it. I like it. There's going to be no liquid involved. This is more of a hoarfrost. The day just got easier. You're clear. Well, the de-ice is all done. We tied her back down primed her up 4 times, pulled it through the cylinders cold, and then got the mags on. She fired once but didn't keep running. We tried a few more. We're just gonna let her set for a bit. No rush. Probably push her over, fuel her up, and we'll just keep working on her until we get her running. Well, Rob got the cranker fired up fairly easy. I don't know. Cranked on it about 35 seconds or so over 3-4 temps. She fired on the third and kind of lumbered along. Wasn't happy. Eventually quit after 15-20 seconds, and then the 4th time she purred right to life. So, JT, the aircraft owner for our J-3, just reported the fog is cleared in Sheridan. So I'm gonna run in, make one last bathroom break, and maybe pour myself a cup of coffee for the quick 1-hour flight down there. It's gonna be a fun day to finish this trip. Glad everybody came along for the ride. All right, start number 2. She fired right off, no problem. 2nd pull. Time to let her warm up, send Rob on his way, and get this thing home. It's gonna be a good day. It was a sunny day and there were already several airplanes operating here at Laurel, so I really had to build up my SA taxiing out, watching people, looking in every direction to make sure that there weren't any airplanes that I wasn't aware of. Okay, so 172 taken off, the Cub is still taxiing. I'd already done a flight control check back at the ramp, but as I came around this corner, something didn't feel right as I was trying to apply right rudder. So I brought the airplane to a stop, got to looking around, and sure enough, the seat belt was interfering with the rudder. So, reset everything. I brought those seat belts up, ran them through some loops like I had the day before on my backpack, and especially when you can't reach all the way up front, it's real critical that you've got everything right before you get yourself airborne. Of course, over the last minute of taking care of that seatbelt issue, I'd lost SA of where everybody was, so it was definitely time to turn around, taxi back, get my eyes and ears out, and see if I could find where everyone was. While it was pretty during the daylight, it was a place that would be tough to find a safe landing spot at night. Both the pilotage and the dead reckoning required on this leg was a little bit above average. If you ever want to wonder how to get 150 head of cattle to
all go one place. You just throw a 1-ton hay bale in the back of the tractor. They'll follow. People often ask me what it takes to get into ferry flying, thinking it might be fun, and I gotta honestly admit, it's a really tough gig. You really rely on all your years of experience on it. Seems like so many of these trips, and it's all about risk management. I mean, there's times that I was having fun with this Cub down at 100 feet over the dry land, but there was times I was at 2,000-3,000 feet above the mountains because that's the only way I had a good safe place to go with the airplane and to make sure I was going to get it safely from A to B. It's knowing when to push and how to push safely, and knowing when to not push too hard and call it a day. And while it may look all fun, believe me, flying for 2 days in sub-freezing temperatures in the back seat of a J-3, I try to make it look fun and easy, but it is still a lot of hard work, and moving any airplane safely is. There's lots of stories I hear about every week about airplanes that get wrecked by brand new owners due to they don't know the airplane, they don't know the weather conditions, they don't know the environment they're flying in, and spending a couple $1,000s on a professional ferry pilot would have saved their day, saved their airplane, and for some of them saved a lot of financial ruin. But as we come over the top of Sheridan Airport, no J-3 Cub trip would be complete without opening up the door and putting it down one last time, looking out the side. So despite the temperature, the doors come open. We're going to enjoy some nice, beautiful grass on the right-hand side and taxi this thing up to JT's hangar. It's been a great trip. Relaxed in the warm sun out in front of JT's hangar. There was a wide variety of airplanes, just kept coming and going. We had a 172 come and go. The 182 was there, the beautiful 185, and the Cutlass as well. But before long, it was time for me to get headed up to Billings. Big thanks out to Christian Iberlin, great pilot who took me back up there in the Turbo 182. This guy can fly a smooth airplane, spends time up in Alaska flying off the beaches in a 207. And it was nice just to retrace everything at a little higher speed, a little more comfort.
Well, nice flight up in the 182, and now we are doing the speed walk here to the Billings terminal. Luckily, I looked at the schedule of the flight. Normally this flight goes out like at 4:35 in the afternoon. And on the weekends it goes early. All of a sudden we realized, oh, we're late. So we're hustling, but there's the airplane. We should make it.
And yeah, we made it. I was at home petting Dakota within about 4 hours for the end of that film. It was a great trip. I'm glad everybody came along, enjoyed it. Now it's time for a cup of hot coffee and maybe a little bit of extra in it.